My name is Bernie Olivas, Executive Director of the Sun Bowl Association. I'd like to welcome all the media for coming here for this press conference. Most of all, I'd like to thank both coaches for taking time out of their busy schedule. I know you know how it is at Bowl Week. They have some preparations to make, but I'd like to thank both coaches for being here. So we'd like to move on. The way this will work is I'll have Coach Johnson make a statement and then answer questions, and we'll follow that with Coach Whittingham after that. So at this moment, I'd like to introduce Coach Paul Johnson, Georgia Tech University.
Okay, thank you, Bernie. Let me just start out by saying how we're excited to be here in El Paso. We had in yesterday. I felt like that we had good preparation leading up to the bowl game. We practiced up until the 22nd of December, let our guys go home for Christmas, and we'll finish up this week. You know, looking forward to playing a quality opponent in the University of Utah. I think traditionally we've had strong football teams, and Coach Whittingham's record speaks for itself. He's done a great job. Certainly a lot of the strengths of their football team coincide with what looks like the strengths of our football team. If you compare the rushing defense, the rushing offense, and those type of things. So it ought to be an interesting matchup. Certainly they've got a very formidable group on defense. I think the defensive line is as good as we've played against, or possibly better than anybody we've played. So that'll be a challenge for us. They run well. The tailback White is a great player and has put up a lot of yards for them. So it'll be a challenge for our defense as well. But we're looking forward to having a chance to play in a bowl game. We haven't had a lot of success the last couple of years, and we're looking forward to having a chance to play again. So with that, I'll kind of throw it over for some questions.
Coach, can you talk about the challenge that you guys have with your option a little bit more?
Well, I think that the biggest challenge, it wouldn't matter what you were doing offensively, is trying to find a way to block the down guys. They're certainly very good. And the other problem that we'll have is they run well to the ball. I think that besides the defensive line, certainly the linebacker core and the secondary are physical. They're good tacklers. They run to the ball, but that said, I mean, we're going to do what we do. We can't change what we do, so we'll just have to find a way to see if we can execute a little bit and maybe have some success.
Coach, can you talk about some of the specific players on Utah's defense? Who stood out to you on watching the film?
Well, with the risk of trying to pronounce some of the names, Star certainly is a good player, and having coached in Hawaii for 8 years, would it Lutalele? Is that how they would say it? Maybe, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. But certainly he's a tremendous player. I think Shelby, Kruger up front, they're all good players. I mentioned White, the running back. But anytime you start naming individual guys, you're going to leave somebody out. And I think that you have to give them credit as a whole. They played really good as a defensive unit. But the guys up front certainly stick out.
Coach, is the mindset of the team going into this game better than you think than last year?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think it's a different team. Each team is different. Last year certainly was not the kind of year that we had envisioned having. But you never know until you play. I've said all year, this is a fun group to coach. They've worked hard in bowl practice. We'll see if they continue to work hard the rest of the week. And I feel good where we are. I mean, I think we've worked hard. I don't know if we're good enough, but we'll find out.
Coach, do you think the game is more than just your rushing offense and Utah's rush defense? What do you think it's going to come?
Well, usually when you talk about that, that's usually not what matters. As big a I think as big a difference in the game could be, can we stop their rushing attack? That's probably going to play as big a role as the other way. We used to be real honest. We've struggled with power running teams all year. So it's going to be a huge challenge to our front seven to see if we can slow them down running the ball, because if they have a lot of success running the ball, it'll probably be a long day for us.
And to follow up, I guess both teams liking to run the ball, this can be the shortest bowl game.
No, actually, we probably played the shortest one last year against the Air Force. I think it was over in about 1 hour and 40 minutes now. But, you know, who knows? I'm sure that there are going to be some big plays, and you know, both teams. I know Utah is very capable of throwing the ball and hitting some big plays in the passing game. They got a big play receiver, and you know, we'll have to do that as well. We're going to have to hit some big plays. They're too good on defense to try to grind it out.
Coach, you alluded a little bit to the Georgia Tech's record in bowls recently. How important is it to get that one, and why do you think it's been a little elusive?
Well, it's important. I think anytime you play, if you're competitive, you want to win. And each team's different, and you know, you move forward. My experience is all I can talk about. The last three times we played some pretty good teams. We should have won last year's bowl game and didn't. Take nothing away from Air Force, but we should have won that game. The other two games, you have to give LSU and Iowa credit. They're pretty good football teams. So, you know, we drew another pretty good football team this time, so we'll just have to see.
When you were in Navy, did you, and I'm asking, I have a question about elevation, did you even bring that up to players or coaches, or is it something the less you mention it, the better?
Nah, we don't talk about it. I don't think it's a big deal unless you talk about it. So you'll probably want to talk about it.
Did you do any more conditioning than normal or like that, or?
Yeah, we went to the highest water tower we could find and went. I mean, we condition the same way we always condition.
When you were at Navy, is that something you ever noticed? I mean, you obviously had a lot of success in Colorado Springs.
You know, I don't think Navy was as big a deal when I coached at the University of Hawaii. It was a bigger deal. We played Wyoming, Colorado State, Utah, in that old Mountain West Conference. About every road game was at altitude. But I think it is what it is. You know, you're not going to change it. You just get ready to play. You hope you're in good shape and you play. Anybody else?
Coach, going back a little bit to Hawaii, you know, Utah's offensive coordinator was just named head coach there. Any thoughts on what it takes to win the program and some of the challenges you might face?
Well, I think that, you know, we were very fortunate when I was there. I think we won 9 games 2 or 3 years, won 11 years, won the league. And I think the big key to that was we were able to keep some of the local kids home. And that'll be key for Norm. I'm excited for him. I think that being from there, certainly I know that that's a job that he's looked at through the years. And when I saw that he got the job, I was really happy for him. It's well deserved. He's had a great career, and I think he'll do a good job there.